All right, hello everyone. Welcome to CRM 440/740 Foundations of Homeland Security and Defense. Okay, I'm Dr. Sutmiller, and this is my 10th year at Missouri State. I'm a former law enforcement officer turned professor, and I have done a fair amount of research in Homeland Security and terrorism work, going back to my graduate student days, mainly looking at far-right groups and different characteristics that may lead them to longer life or shorter life, kind of what makes groups dissolve. But anyway, so this is a cross-referenced course, undergraduate and graduate. Okay, so most of the assignments in here will be for everyone to do, but I will designate sometimes assignments that say graduate student, and then you all will have something else that you have to do. I also have some additional readings throughout the course for the graduate students. So you'll have the regular undergraduate stuff, and then you'll have some additional graduate stuff to do. So best way to get a hold of me if you have questions is through email. Since this is online, we won't be meeting in person or anything. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'll have office hours Wednesdays from 9 to 2. But if that doesn't work for you and you want to meet in person, we can set up a time to do that at my office. Or if you want to do something on Zoom, we can certainly do that as well. All right, so the main differences between, so there's going to be a couple kinds of assignments. There's going to be some written assignments, there's going to be some discussion boards, and then there's a NIMS training assignment. So written assignments are generally have you read something in the book and then answer some questions. Those have to be submitted as Microsoft Word documents. Do not write those directly in the Blackboard. Please do make those Microsoft Word documents and attach those. There's also going to be discussion boards, and you can write those directly into Blackboard. And then there's a NIMS training assignment, which is part of the Incident Command System. It's actually Introduction to Incident Command System is what you'll be taking. And it's through FEMA, and there's a link to it in the syllabus. And when you're done, you'll actually have a certificate that you can put on a resume. There'll also be a quiz every week, and all of this stuff is under the course content tab in Blackboard. Okay, so that everything is there. The course is divided up into sections. Each section has modules in it. So then each module will be all the stuff that you need for that particular week. All right, so something that you all graduate students will have to do that's different is they're called critical infrastructure assignments. Okay, so Homeland Security has identified 16 different critical infrastructures in the U.S. You'll be required to complete a report on 8 of those. So what you have to do is you have to find a news article using a legitimate news source. Okay, it can be a CNN, Fox, KY3, some local channel from some other state or city that identifies some kind of threat or something important that's happening with that particular infrastructure. And by threat, it doesn't have to actually be an attack. It could be something that's happening that could cause a problem with that particular infrastructure. Anyway, and then you'll complete a one-page paper on that particular critical infrastructure. Like the first third of it should be a quick discussion of what the threat is, and then the second part of your paper should be how does that relate to Homeland Security? Okay, what does it mean for Homeland Security in America? That should be the main part of your paper. Okay, and it needs to be one page, double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font, and then attached as a Microsoft Word document. Okay, you also should use APA 7th edition formatting for citations and references. Okay, you need to reference the article. Okay, and then you have to cite it in the paper and then reference it at the end. These are I'm opening all these up first day, and you have until the Sunday after Thanksgiving to complete your 8. Okay, so you can do them whenever you want. My advice would be to do them kind of on the front end, because as you know, as you progress through a semester, things start getting kind of hectic. But you can pick any 8 that you want. Okay, of the 16. The other thing that you're going to have to do as a graduate student is you have to do a final paper. Okay, you have to do a 15 to 20 page research paper on any Homeland Security issue or policy of your choice. Okay, and the instructions for that are in the syllabus. So I've broken the paper assignment up into 3 different pieces. Okay, so the first part is you have to do a topic and give me a preliminary list of 10 appropriate sources. By appropriate sources, I outline those in the syllabus. If you have questions about whether or not they're appropriate, please let me know. But your topic and preliminary list of 10 sources is due on October 1st. That's worth 10 points. Okay, so the topic should be written in a sentence to where I can understand what you're trying to do. Okay, don't just give me a couple of words like explain to me what you're wanting to do. Maximum 2-3 sentences. Then your sources have to be submitted in APA 7th edition format. It should be an actual references page. Okay. You don't have to necessarily use these sources in the final paper, but this is a way for you to demonstrate that you know what appropriate sources are and can create an APA references page, and then you can move on from that. Okay, a rough draft is then due on November 5th, and it is worth 30 points. Okay, and this should be a full-length paper. Okay, it obviously doesn't have to be perfect because it's a rough draft, but I can give you more appropriate and more helpful comments if you give me something that's pretty close to a final draft. Okay, simply turning something in does not mean you're going to get 30 points. Okay, if you don't give me 15 pages, you're going to get deducted for having a paper that is short. Okay, so it should be as good of a paper as you can give me, but it obviously doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll give you feedback, and you can go from there. Then the final paper is due on December 7th, which is a Thursday. Okay, it's the last day of coursework. Okay, so it's due on December 7th, and the final papers were 60 points. So a grand total of 100 points for this final paper. One thing is you should do your very best to not use direct quotations in the paper. Okay, it is almost always better to paraphrase and cite rather than using direct quotations. Okay, so please do not use direct quotations in the paper. Okay, I do accept late work, but if you want to have the opportunity to earn full credit, it has to be turned in by 11:59 p.m. Sunday night. So material for that week will open up on Monday morning, and everything is due by 11:59 on Sunday night. If you turn it in a day late, you lose 25% of the possible points. So if it's a 10-point assignment, you turn it in a day late, the most you can earn is 7.5 out of 10. And if there's any deductions after that, they get taken off of that 7.5, not from the 10. I also do not accept assignments over email. Everything must be turned into Blackboard. Okay, it's very, very difficult for me to keep track of assignments if everybody's turning stuff in over email. Everything needs to go into Blackboard. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you're obviously in the Getting Started module, so please make sure that you do introduction discussion board and then move on to the first module for the week. So for this first week, you have to do this Getting Started stuff and then move on into module 1. Okay, again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm more than happy to discuss whatever issue or question that you have. Just shoot me an email, or if you want to meet in person or over Zoom, we can certainly do that. I'm really looking forward to getting to know everybody over the next few weeks. And again, let me know if you have any questions.